Stop by this lovely Parisian cafe for some tasty treats, and if you love the location, you can even move into one of the upstairs apartments. This prime location is the perfect spot to run your own live-in business. Hi guys, it's Kiarko here, back with another speed build, and that's exactly what we're building today. It's a live-in Parisian cafe. So basically we have this cafe on the bottom floor, and then we're gonna have these two apartments on top. So in-game, in terms of like game functions, I don't think this actually works to like run your own business, but there are a lot of live-in business mods, so I highly suggest getting one if you actually want to live here and like run this Parisian cafe, which I think would be so fun. I can't believe that's not really a game feature yet. I feel like that's kind of an obvious one. I love the retail aspect of this game, that you can like buy your own store or restaurant or stuff like that. But it's always really fun to like live in one or live above it, especially like in San Myshuno, like a city kind of situation where you live above like a bookshop or a record store. I don't know, I'm always going to be a little bit mad that they didn't really incorporate that. But like I said, there are a lot of fantastic custom content creators and modders out there who make that kind of stuff possible. So check that out if you are, wanting to live in this actual cafe. And of course, if you do, please let me know. Please show me. I have a Discord. It'll be linked down below. And if you, have your Sims come in here and, enjoy a tasty treat, or if they, move in upstairs, please show me. I would love to see it. I would love to see you guys, interact and enjoy this content. So that would be really, really cool. Anyway, so like I said, Parisian Cafe, I built like a couple of these over, the time span of my channel. I love building cafes. There's something so timeless about them. You could do so many different things. You can try out so many different aesthetics, especially like the Parisian, like European kind of theme. I feel like it's so fun to do. You just get these like really like classic looks. It's just so beautiful, so fun, absolutely stunning. That being said, I've never been to Paris. I think this is kind of a theme on my channel where I build these builds and then I'm like, just so you guys know, I actually have no idea what I'm talking about. That's kind of what's going on here. I mean, like I said, I built a couple of these before, so like I kind of have curated like my own personal aesthetic for like what this would look like. And I look on Pinterest and stuff like that to see like what Parisian cafes look like in real life. They're far more stunning in real life than in game, unfortunately. But that's all I can tell from the photos. I've never actually been there. I would love to visit. It feels like such like a beautiful location to visit. Obviously, I mean, people always talk about going to Paris and how beautiful it is. But have you guys ever heard of this thing? I forgot what it's called, but it's like a disappointment syndrome that people get when they visit Paris. I think it was originated in Japan, if I'm not wrong. But you guys can look that up. Search up like Paris like disappointment like disorder syndrome or something like that. Basically what it is a lot of people build up the idea of Paris in their mind of what it's gonna be, right? Because it's so like iconic in entertainment, film, and media and stuff like that. So people get an idea in their head that it's gonna be like this beautiful, magical place, and then they get there and then they become disappointed. They become, they just jaded isn't the right word, but basically they realize that like, wow, this is just like it's a normal city like any other city in the world. And of course it has its beautiful locations and it has all the food and the culture and the stunning buildings. But ultimately, every place is just a place on Earth, So that's a very interesting psychological thing that they've discovered is people get like disappointed when they go to Paris. I think it's the funniest thing. But look it up and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of that whole situation. Or if any of you have ever been to Paris, what did you think? Like, do you understand where that comes from, that whole thing about being let down, or you're like completely mind blown by your experience, or what? Let me know, because I will live vicariously through your experiences as always. I have been to Europe once in my life. I was very, very lucky to be able to go. It was a relatively short trip. I went to Berlin, which was absolutely amazing. I loved my experience there. It was very, very cold, like unexpectedly cold, because it was just like a colder time of year. But, other than the weather, I had an absolutely amazing time. It was one of the most like life-changing experiences, one of the most memorable like travel trips I've ever been on. Like I said, it's the only time I've ever been to Europe in my entire life was that short period of time. So it just left this like lasting impression on me of like what it looks like over there on that side of the world, and I would love to go back. I would love to go back, especially specifically to Berlin, because it was just it was stunning. The food was amazing. It was just like, I was very lucky to be able to travel there, and if any of you ever get the opportunity, highly suggest it. It was just fantastic, and I hope to be able to go back someday, but we'll see. We'll see how that happens, with the world being as crazy as it is, and with the prices being what they are. I don't know, maybe someday, we'll see. Anyways, but this video is not about Berlin, it's about Paris, which I've never been to. So basically, the way this, functions is we have this cafe on the corner, and above it are the apartments. And then, as you can see on the left and the right side of the building, I've added in these shells, which I think are from the university pack, if I'm not incorrect. They're like from the debug menu. Basically, you can just plop them in, then you have these like beautiful shells so that it like fills out your lot and makes it seem more, more bustling, like there's more going on, so I don't have to like build these other buildings, you know what I mean? So I highly suggest using shells in your game if you're trying to build like city lots or anything that's supposed to look very like populated and dense, but you don't want to like go and build all those buildings. Use shells like this. It just really helps fill everything out. And here in particular, it looks pretty cohesive with the aesthetic we're going for, so I think that was pretty successful, I think. But like I said, never been to Paris, so I'm not sure how accurate this is to like the architecture or like the city layout. I mean, this was built in Brightchester, which is not supposed to be Paris, so it may look a little incorrect, but I built it right on this specific location because you can see it has this beautiful, like, I don't know if it's a lake or a pond, but it's got this beautiful like water behind it, and the water has all these lily pads in it, and it's right next to a bridge. And you know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of that Monet painting of like the bridge and the lilies and that was a Monet, wasn't it? It's a beautiful, stunning painting. I just had recently looked at it because it was like part of like a grad school project that I was looking at, but it was just, that painting is so beautiful. And then when I was trying to build this in the game, I was looking for a location, then I saw this water, and I was like, wow, that looks just like the water of the painting, which I think, because it was Monet, I think it was painted in Paris, but I'm not sure, I'm not an art expert. Never take anything that I say on this channel as an educational fact. This is not an academic channel, and I'm often incorrect. That is your disclaimer. I give a lot of disclaimers on this channel because I never want to be, I never want to mislead anybody, because, the internet is so full of misinformation all the time. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can about my expertise as possible, so you guys don't take me as a legitimate source of information that I am not a legitimate source on. I am a legitimate source on the Sims stuff, because I've been playing since I was like a freaking child, a very, very small child. But even then, I'm not even really that in on like the whole Sims like news and the Sims updates and all that stuff. I just watch Pixelate for that. Highly recommend Pixelate's channel. It's just fantastic. Just keeps me up to date on everything, and I recommend it to you guys as well. Because certainly you're not going to be getting Sims news here. I can barely remember the pack names half the time. I'm just your simple, what's the word? Simple neighborhood builder. That's who I am. Anyways, as you can see, we have this little outdoor area in the back. It's only accessible technically by these shell buildings, but like your Sim, if they live in this apartment, they could probably access back there and have like their own little backyard area. Anyways, we're moving on to the inside now. I think we're done with the exterior. There is like a little roof section that's like a little rooftop patio thing, but we're gonna go in and fill that out with furniture later on at the end. But that is gonna be accessible, so your Sim can go all the way up to the rooftop and chill up there, because I'm pretty sure that's a thing. I remember seeing in all like my quote-unquote research into Parisian buildings, I remember seeing like all these like little rooftop areas, because with the stunning views of the city, you can see the Eiffel Tower, of course you're gonna want a little rooftop area. Speaking of Paris and cafes and food, of course I have to mention Ratatouille. I mean, not of course, it's coming to mind, so I'm gonna mention it. Guys, one of my favorite like animated, specifically Pixar movies of all time. I think it's fantastic. I can't even explain how that movie makes me feel. Like, I have the soundtrack literally on my Spotify and I listen to it all the time. It's just so fantastic. I just love the concept of it. I love the execution. It's funny. Of course, I love the animation style. I love just everything about it. It's just absolutely fantastic. So if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. I'm requiring it of you to go and see it because it's just a classic. It's one of my favorites, and I think it's just totally worth your time. That and WALL-E, which is another Pixar film, absolutely love. Totally nothing to do with this video, but just Ratatouille reminded me of this like Parisian cafe kind of vibe. But yeah, let me know if you've seen it, which I'm sure that you guys have, because this is an immensely popular movie, I think. And if you guys, of course, have any movie recommendations for me, please let me know. I'm always looking for for recommendations. I watch a lot of movies, so the nicher the better. I love watching niche stuff, and I feel like I've seen a lot of this sounds pretentious, but I've seen a lot of movies, so like the nicher your recommendations the better, because I'm just like looking for the stuff I haven't seen, and I'm really excited to see if you guys have any like mind-blowing recommendations. I'm gonna try to see a new movie later, maybe not today, but sometime this week. I'm gonna try to see The Worst Person in the World, which is this new, I want to say it's a Norwegian film, I'm not quite sure, but I'm really excited to see it. It's been getting really good reviews, and, you know, I'm a movie person, so I'm really excited to go. If any of you guys have seen it, let me know what you thought, but please don't spoil it. I hate spoilers. I hate spoilers so much that I actually don't even watch trailers anymore. I recently stopped doing that, so I don't watch trailers in the movie theater. I try to be late, so I miss the trailers, and I don't watch previews or anything like that, so please don't spoil it, because I'm trying to get on a anti-spoiler train. Anyways, back to the build, which I've been totally ignoring with my movie rants. We are on the inside, the first floor. This is where the cafe is all set up. As you can see, we basically have this big like center area where people come up in order, and there's like a little food display thing, and there's like food in there. Well, not yet, but there will be food in there. And then we have the big sign in the back, which makes it look like a macaron store. It's not, it's, you know, it's a cafe, it has all sorts of other food, but that sign looked the most like Parisian to me, and I really like the aesthetic of it, so that's the sign we're using. As you can see, this build actually does include custom content. I should have mentioned that at the beginning of this video, but I forgot. So it has custom content in it. I have been lately doing videos or builds without custom content, and you guys seem to be enjoying that, but let me know, like, what your opinion on, you know, custom content versus no custom content builds are. I love doing both. As you can see, when I use custom content, I tend to go a little ham. I tend to use a lot of custom content. So please let me know how you guys feel about that. Of course, like if you want this in your game, like I understand if some of you don't use custom content, and maybe it's like better for you guys to have videos that don't use custom content. I don't know. Just like let me know. Let me know how you guys feel. Because communication is key, y'all. It's key to everything. It's key to your life to communicate with other human beings. Please remember that. It'll solve a lot of your problems. Anyways, so back here we have this basically little seating corner where people can, you know, chat and drink coffee, I guess. And we have basically these lovely windows on the side to give you a beautiful view to the outside Parisian streets. You know, I love coffee shops and cafes and stuff like that. I go to Barnes & Noble like all the time to basically just get a Starbucks order and just like walk around the books and drink my drink. It's such a nice vibe. I don't love coffee, to be honest. I actually don't drink caffeine really at all, because I'm kind of like a rabbit, you know. Like if you give me coffee, it's like giving like cocaine to a rabbit, you know. Like my heart will explode. It's not gonna work for me. I can't drink coffee, y'all. But what I do drink is like the super sugary drinks at Starbucks. You know how they have like the frappuccinos and stuff, which are basically just smoothies, pretty much just like chocolatey smoothies. I love those. I drink those a lot, so that's just kind of my thing. I love the smell of coffee though, and I will eat it in desserts, because like coffee ice cream and coffee like flavored rolls and stuff, so delicious. Absolutely love it, but in its original form, not so much. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any, you know, Starbucks recommendations for me, drinks, food, anything at all, please let me know. I'm always looking to, you know, hack some Starbucks secrets if I can. I'm certainly there enough. Anyway, so we're gonna move upstairs to our first apartment now. I feel like I haven't been talking enough about this build. That tends to happen in my videos. I get a little off track. I get sidelined. I get distracted like I am right now. But basically, this is our first apartment. So there's two apartments. There's the apartment on this level, and there's the apartment above it. You know, sometimes when I do apartments, I tend to like copy paste a lot. So we have like what's the word? Just like a linear aesthetic through a continuous aesthetic through all the apartments. But for this one, because we only had two, I wanted it to be interesting. So the first floor apartment and the second floor apartment, they're going to be kind of different in aesthetic, just to give you guys, you know, a visual variety to feast your eyes upon. I don't know. But let me know which apartment is your favorite. I kind of like the first floor apartment. No, I also like the second floor apartment. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and then we'll determine which apartment is the winner. I love these like what are they called, like herringbone floors. It's such an interesting like floor pattern. I don't use it that much because it's such a particular style. Like it seems very classy, you know, it kind of reminds me of like historical buildings and stuff, so I don't use herringbone that much, but in this particular build I thought it was quite lovely on the floors. And I have this beautiful blue tile. I love this tile, you guys. I'm like a tile maniac. I love tile in this game, and I love tile in real life. Like, you should see my interior design projects, y'all. I'm like very tile specific. I love tiles and I will just collect them. So you know, another thing, if you guys have any tile recommendations, that'd be really random and kind of weird, but I'm totally willing to take any tile recommendations y'all have, because I'm a tile fiend. But yeah, anyway, so now we are, let's see, we're almost finishing up this living room area. As you can see, we have that little kitchen right by the windows. Very cute. I love like this like angular wall, how the room is like not quite a square, it's like a half triangle. Diagonal walls are really hard to work with in terms of furniture placement and, you know, stuff like that, but I think I made it work. It's quite a small apartment, so like only one person lives here, but I think they have everything they need. I mean, there's no TV in this apartment. I don't always put in TVs, you know, because I don't love the aesthetic of TVs. They just big black boxes stuck on the wall. It's kind of ugly sometimes, to be totally honest with you guys. There's not a TV in this apartment. There is one on the second floor apartment, and that one is like a nice like framed like art picture TV. You'll see in a sec. You guys, if you watch any of my videos, you know what TV I'm talking about. We have these beautiful like what's it called? Like these pots, these like beautiful blue painted pots. They're absolutely stunning. They match the tiles on the floor. That was totally intentional. I was trying to bring in the blue color into other elements of this build. And now we're gonna put a clock on the wall, so you know, they know the time. And then we're gonna hang up some brass pots. I recently found out, is it brass or copper? I think it's copper. No, is it? I think it's bronze. I don't know. I think it's copper. It's apparently like super expensive and like really hard to get, and that has made me kind of sad learning that, because I absolutely love that metal and I always dreamed of having it like somehow in my house, like in my kitchen or something like that. But it's expensive. It's apparently like crazy expensive, and to the extent where people like will steal like copper piping and stuff because it's so like expensive and hard to get. So that was kind of crazy to find out and very sad, because now I have to be super rich to get the house that I one day would love to have, which I don't know what's gonna happen, you guys. Maybe there's a cheap copper alternative that I'll discover. I hope. Anyway, so this is our first bedroom. As you can see, they have a little desk in the corner, nice big yellow bed, which I thought looked, you know, matched very lovely with the blue, very like bright, like sunshiny colors in this house. I feel like the person who lives here is very like happy and cheerful and like I don't know what they would do. Like, I'm not quite sure of their occupation. Maybe they're like I don't know, like a chef or you know, I have no idea. Let me know what you guys think. And of course, if you move your Sims into here, let me know all about your Sim. Like, what kind of Sim would live in this apartment? I'm curious to know. Here's our bathroom. Very lovely bathroom. Like I said, love this tile. I'm a tile fiend. And look at that mirror. Isn't that a stunning mirror? Like, wow, you know, like the copper and the frame, it's so beautiful. Guys, like the European, like Parisian aesthetic, the classiness and the gilded like metal, it's so stunning. I absolutely adore it. And then we're just popping in a simple hamper here with some towels on top, just to ground it a little bit. And now we're gonna go to our upstairs apartment, and we're gonna have the same herringbone floor. We are gonna change the tile though to I believe it's like the tile that we're having on the roof right now. I originally was gonna go with this black and white tile, but I wasn't like loving it for this space, so we end up changing that tile later on. And then we go with like a kind of a warmer aesthetic. Our palette up here is like more orangey and green, because, you know, like I said, I wanted to try out different aesthetics here, and I thought that, you know, this was a nice contrast to the apartment below it. But like I said, pretty small apartment even on this one, so again, only probably one person living here. But, you know, since they're neighbors, like the upstairs and downstairs apartment, maybe they're like, maybe this is like a love story, you know, like maybe they fall in love and they like run this cafe together, or maybe like they're best friends and they each have their own apartment and they like run the cafe together again. I don't know, some sort of thing like that would be, I think, really fun to play here. But also, as you can see, the floor plan and the arrangement of this apartment is a little bit different than the other one. So instead of having the kitchen and the living room on the right, we actually have it on the left against this back wall now. So the bedroom is actually going to be placed in this diagonal corner room. I don't really have a preference as to like how this like layout is, like how the apartment is laid out. I think it works both ways. You do get a lot more of a bigger kitchen and more living space if you have the apartment arranged like this. But, you know, I like the bedroom with the diagonal wall. It's, like, interesting to have, like, that sunlight coming through those diagonal windows onto the bed, which you'll see in a second. But let me know which apartment you guys prefer, because I don't have a favorite. I don't know. This bathroom, though, is so freaking cute. Like, I love this, like, open shower. I think it's so stunning. Probably not super practical, but, you know, I don't design for practicality. I design for aesthetics, y'all. So let me know what you guys think of that. We have this lovely bed frame set up. I was trying to use a lot of the same custom content throughout, even though I was like picking different patterns and colors to like vary the aesthetic. I was trying to use like the same packs or objects so that I could minimize the amount of custom content you would need to download to, you know, have this build. So this build will be linked down in the description below. You can download it from my Patreon. It is going to be, you know, available for public access when this video comes up. So you could just go and download that, and all the custom content stuff will be linked there as well. You don't have to download custom content that you don't want to like have in your game. It just won't appear in this build, and you can just like replace it with whatever other custom content you want. So don't feel like you have to download everything if you don't want to download it, because I know I use a lot of custom content and I don't want to pressure anyone to like overload their game. So just, you know, be aware of that. Anyway, so now we're gonna move on to the upstairs area. We kind of have like this like in-between floor where you like to go up to the roof. I didn't really do anything there. I kind of left it blank because I wasn't really sure what to use that space for. So if you do use this in your game, like you could put anything there. It could be storage, it could be, I don't know, like a social place. It could really be anything. So there's a whole space there for you guys to use. And then there's of course the rooftop area, which I just stuck some tables on, so you can have like a nice meal up there if you wanted to. Anyways, that is the build. I hope you guys had a wonderful week. It is Sunday, so we're gonna start a new week pretty soon. I have a lot of work to do. You know, I have some finals and midterms, and I just have a lot of stuff coming up. So I'll be working on that this week. I hope you guys have a non-stressful week, which is kind of hard to do at this point in the school year. I know a lot of you are students, so I hope you guys are chugging through. Don't get burnt out. I kind of got a little bit burnt out this week with my work, to be totally honest, y'all. And it's not a good feeling. So take breaks when you need to take breaks. You know, feed yourselves, like try to exercise if you can. I have not been exercising, unfortunately. I've just been too tired, but it's definitely good for your health, so I'm gonna try to do that more, and you guys should too. We should motivate each other to be healthier and do better, and, you know, be better people in our lives, I guess. And it's a kind of a weird way to sign off this video, but I thought I would end us on a positive, you know, like a let's go kind of note. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.